For millions of Americans, Social Security is a lifeline. Nearly 2/3 of all seniors depend on it for most of their income. It keeps 15 million people out of poverty. And for millions of people who suffer accidents, who get sick, Social Security disability insurance is there when they need it. We must protect Social Security. And that's why we're all here, is to protect Social Security.
If you meet the eligibility requirements, you could receive some financial support starting next month. An official fourth stimulus check plan has been proposed, and remember everybody, that the whole goal of this channel is to provide you with the most up-to-date and reliable stimulus check news. I want to see every member of my community receive the much-needed stimulus payments. So Chuck Schumer is now urging lawmakers to make progress on annual government spending bills. On the Senate floor, Chuck Schumer said that he plans to sit down with Democratic lawmakers later this week to discuss the state of negotiations. That's done to pass a government bill within the next few weeks. So it would be really crazy if the government did shut down, and even if it was just a couple of weeks. Government shutdowns cause the disruption of government services and programs. It's even if lawmakers fail to pass an annual new government spending bill. The SSA, which is the Social Security Administration, has a contingency plan that would help the agency continue to operate, even in the event of a government shutdown. Lawmakers have until February 18th to reach an agreement on spending for fiscal year 2022, which could begin in October under the previous year's temporary continuing resolution passed last month. Under the previous year's spending levels, if Congress fails to pass a spending deal for fiscal year 2022 and instead opts for a continuing resolution, it will mark the third time that Congress had to resort to such measures since spending negotiations began last year. For homeowners who have fallen behind on their mortgages in the country, well, there is some support available to help you pay off things like property tax, insurance, bills, and your mortgage. Specifically for anyone in California, there is a new California Mortgage Relief Program, which will offer support of up to $80,000 to deal with the areas that have been hit hardest. Sources told Newsweek that the crisis has left many California homeowners struggling to cover their mortgage costs. The program is designed to help low to moderate income Californians who have lost their jobs or experienced financial hardships due to the crisis and fallen behind on their payments to get caught up and start fresh. The California Mortgage Relief Program is funded by a $1 billion grant from the federal government, which put aside $10 billion for mortgage assistance in March as part of the American Rescue Plan. Then the money was split up between the Treasury Department, depending on each state's population of unemployed workers and borrowers with mortgages. The California Mortgage Relief Program has been introduced to help homeowners who were already behind on their mortgages as a result of the crisis. Residents of New York are also in store for more financial relief. New York has been granted $540 million by the federal government. The state recently began accepting applications for its Homeowners Assistance Fund. Now the government said this program is the first of its kind in the country, and that New York was the first state to receive this kind of federal funding. Virginia was awarded $250 million in stimulus relief funds from the U.S. Treasury just to support homeowners facing housing instability resulting from the crisis. Housing Virginia's Mortgage Relief Program is using these funds to assist people to help ease the mortgage defaults, foreclosures, and displacements of homeowners experiencing financial hardship. Oklahoma, Rhode Island, Tennessee, and Pennsylvania are the latest states to announce government approval of their homeowner assistance programs. A new program with the Tennessee Housing Development Agency launched, and that is geared toward helping those who have faced financial hardships due to the crisis. Those who apply can receive up to $40,000 per household to help pay housing costs, including past due mortgage payments, property taxes, and even more. Thank you again for your support, everybody. If you have any questions about this, leave them in the comments below, and I'll do my very best in answering.
Well, thanks. Thank you very much. Look, I'm going to... Thank you. Governors, it's a pleasure to have you all here. And I'm glad you're having an opportunity, and my cabinet and overall team is getting a chance to meet you all, know you personally, and engage with you on the great concern that you have. You know, I had a chance to hear from several leaders of my administration this morning, including former governors. If you notice, I hired a lot of governors and mayors because they know how to get things done. And you have two governors sitting to my left here who are taking on major responsibilities. I remember when we were out on the trail, Governor Vilsack telling me that the first industry in the world is going to have net zero emissions is going to be agriculture. And he was right. At the time, it was a fairly novel idea, but a lot of you picked it up and moved beyond. And I know that, look, the American Rescue Plan was a lot of money, and it was designed to make sure we could carry the nation forward in dealing with vaccines, boosters, creating jobs, and keeping schools open, and a number of other things. And Gov, you said, send you money. We have. We've sent you a whole hell of a lot of money. And we're going to send you more. You keep using it as well as you have. We're talking about the ability to really, the way I look at it, and I mean this sincerely, and I've said it last night in a more casual way, we are at an inflection point, and we have an opportunity. America is one of those nations, I think the only nation, that's come out of every crisis stronger than it went into the crisis. And I'm not being, it's not hyperbole. We've had a crisis, we've come out, we've been stronger. And I think that's where we are again. And I think we have a chance to sort of restate and reassert our world leadership on a whole range of issues and lead the world on everything from the environment to dealing with the issues of immigration, a whole range of issues, Gov. But the American Rescue Plan gives us the resources to do many of those things. And, you know, there's a lot of challenges out there that we're not even talking to directly today. There's so many, but the surge of gun violence since the start of this pandemic. I made it clear we should use these funds to combat violent crime as well, including hiring additional police officers and investing in community violence interventions and improving the work in communities. And I know you're making those investments in Michigan. I know you're making those investments in New Jersey. You're making those investments in Ohio. A lot of you are making them all over the country. Another one of the national challenges, we need to bring back workers to better jobs with better pay and better working conditions than the ones that they
First, on Senator Manchin, on Build Back Better, he's reiterated again his view that that structure is done. And he said he wants regular order for any pieces of that will move forward. That means potentially weeks, hearings, all of that. Is the president on board with that idea of hearings, markups, and if not, what's his plan for elements of Build Back Better to move forward?
Well, I can't speak for Senator Manchin. No, you're not.